Greetings from Cybertron. This is SoundJack, here with another episode of SoundJack's Rambles. And today I'm joined by Alyssa.
Hello.
And today we are talking about Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, the latest main series. Yes, they are main series. That should not be controversial. Main series games of the Pokemon franchise, the first ones on the Nintendo Switch, and presumably the last ones of Generation 7 before we get to Generation 8 next year.
Woohoo! Get hyped, get hyped, get hyped.
Or
get
this
hyped.
year, I mean. It's 2019. Yeah, it's 2019 already.
Yep.
So
that happened about a month ago, brah.
I don't know anything anymore.
Alright, well, anyway, so I know this conversation's probably been a long time coming, especially since the games came out, a while ago. But we're here now, we're going to talk about it now. So I had version Eevee, and you had version Pikachu.
Yes.
So that's we can bring perspective of each of the versions and how they differ.
Yes.
At least in this discussion, so that's good.
Yay.
So, all right. Before we get into the spoiler bit, what are your overall thoughts?
It's fine. He's good. He's Pokemon.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, it's Pokemon. If you like Pokemon games, you probably will like this one.
Nothing superbly mind-blowing. The graphics do look great, and I do love the Pokemon being in the overworld. But beyond that, it's pretty much a Pokemon game. Just though we do have some big standard changes to talk about, mostly in the catch mechanics. But
yes,
again, beyond that, it's a Pokemon game. If you don't like Pokemon, you're not going to like this game. If you do like Pokemon, you'll probably enjoy it. To an extent.
Unless you have like a lot of issues with the catching mechanics, in which case you might be a little turned off. But aside from that, it's pretty. It's a nice solid game.
Yeah.
Solid game. Okay. So then let's get into the details. So where do you want to start? Do you want to talk about plot, gameplay, graphics?
Let's talk about the thing we just mentioned, the gameplay. Mainly the differences, which is the catch mechanics, which are borrowed heavily from Pokemon Go.
Mm-hmm.
Where instead of battling a Pokemon, weakening it down, and then throwing Pokeballs, you throw Pokeballs from the get-go.
Yep.
And at best, you have some berries that assist you in your capture.
Yeah. So if you've played Pokemon Go before, you're probably already familiar with the mechanics. If you haven't, they're pretty simple to get the hang of. It's just that. However, one of the things to note is that, unlike with most games on the Switch, you actually cannot play with a standard Pro controller.
Yeah.
With your standard controller, you either have to play with one of the Joy-Cons, only one of them. Mm-hmm. One of the Joy-Cons, the Pokeball add-on that they sold with the game, or not with the game, but as an accessory you could purchase separately, or with on the tablet form. Those are the only ways you could do it.
Yeah.
So motion controls basically are pretty much obligation for this game.
Yes, because gosh darn, can you? Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're turned off by motion controls just by a rule, that's probably going to be a sticking point for most people. I didn't really find the motion controls to be that bad. Although, to be honest, I did end up preferring to play the game on the tablet form as opposed to the console TV form.
Mm-hmm.
I found, so for those of you who haven't played it, when you use the Joy-Con and you're trying to throw the Pokeball, you sort of do like a sweeping throw motion to throw it, and then you throw. In the tablet mode, it's more of like an aim and fire motion where you use the Switch's gyroscopic controls to aim and then you press A to fire the Pokeball at the Pokemon. I found the latter option to be a lot easier and a little bit better. Because I don't know why, I just preferred to play it on the tablet, and I found it was a little easier to control, like, where the ball was going and everything like that, as opposed to with the Joy-Con controller. So
yeah,
but that's just me in terms of the. Did you have a preference, Michael, in terms of whether or not it was on the tablet or the TV?
I've never actually used it in handheld mode. I only used it on the TV. So,
okay.
So I cannot state preference because I've only used it the one way. I will say there were definitely times when the response from me throwing and the Pokeball launching did seem delayed.
Yeah, I think that's
which was weird. The big problem I have is it's, even though it's using the Pokemon Go mechanics, it's not a straight up conversion.
Yeah.
And because the catching strengths are different.
What do you mean?
Like, level 5 Caterpie in Viridian Forest, this is the first instance I noticed it, will have a yellow circle around them indicating that they are harder to catch when they're like 10 CP, and they should be the easiest, well, not necessarily the easiest thing, but like, should I really be seeing a yellow circle around a Caterpie at all in Viridian Forest?
Yeah.
Like, I can understand if I start seeing yellow rings in like Mount Moon, especially on Onyx, yeah, I can understand. Harder rings, but like, that feels weird. Also, Pokemon don't have to run away immediately after you throw the Pokeball.
No.
They can wait, and then when you're getting ready to throw the Pokeball, then they can run. I've definitely wasted berries on Pokemon that then ran before I could launch the next Pokeball.
Yeah. Actually,
that bugs me a bit.
Can I talk about another thing that's sort of launching off that point? Berries in this game are surprisingly rare.
There's one huge place to farm, and that's the old cycling route.
Yeah, but like, you can't purchase them at any store in the game, which I found kind of bizarre because the berries are such an essential part of the mechanics for this game, right? Like, because there's no other way for you as the player to really weaken the Pokemon or make it easier to catch in the way that you could when you're battling the Pokemon to catch them. So to not let you purchase or stock up on the raspberries or other berries, to me, seemed kind of limiting.
I can understand the golden ones being
like
impossible to buy in store, but like, at the very least, the base level ones, like, you have to run into them by luck.
Yeah, or like use peanut berries to get more of them.
Yeah.
Wow,
but then you have to get peanut berries in the first place.
Right. So like, I don't know. I guess not having them, you be able to buy the raspberries sort of gives you more incentive to catch a lot of Pokemon, because the more Pokemon you catch, the more likely you are to get them as rewards for catching Pokemon. Yeah. But I still feel like, you get rewards all the time for getting like Pokeballs. Yeah. I was like swimming in Pokeballs by the end of the game. Yeah. So I don't understand. And you can purchase them too at the Pokemart. So I was like, why can't I purchase raspberries, right? Like, and that's another. Why is raspberries like not available to me? And I think you can buy lures too, right?
Yeah, you can buy lures.
Yeah, so you can buy lures, but you can't buy raspberries. Yeah. I don't know. I thought that was a weird choice.
That brings up another thing with how many Pokeballs you had at the end of the game. Yeah. I'm surprised that you didn't have more opportunities to get Great Balls or Ultra Balls from trainers later on in the game. Yeah, each trainer class had a dedicated amount of Pokeballs that they would give out once you were beat.
Mm-hmm.
And for some unknown reason, despite the fact you don't encounter swimmers until late in the game, swimmers would only give you Pokeballs.
Right.
And
Which I didn't understand. I feel
because
like they
those should have
definitely
been great balls. Those should have been great balls.
They should have, they should have scaled it a little better because, like, again, yeah, you can buy Ultra Balls, but like if they're gonna give you rewards anyway if they're going to reward you with Pokeballs after you beat them, why not have it be so that it makes it a little easier for people to use the harder level to get the better leveled Pokeballs for the like harder leveled Pokemon.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I definitely agree. I just wasn't using enough Pokeball. Like the problem too is that like if I was just using Pokeballs, like if I was just using what the game gave me, I would have had to spend way more time catching Pokemon.
Yes.
Than I needed to if I were to just use what the game gave me and not have to go out of my way to purchase more Great Balls or Ultra Balls. So I think that the basic catching mechanic works in the way that like Go and Go works, but the leveling, the way that it's like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Scales.
The scales, yeah, the scaling on it, I think was a little not good.
If they do continue this,
the way that the amount of Pokeball, the amount of Great Balls and Ultra Balls you get from trainers, and the availability of raspberries, I felt like could have been better.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's just like you just kind of have to, and like it sucks because there's, like I said, there's literally, when there's no other way for you to weaken the Pokemon, like why not give me raspberries so I can have a better time catching Pokemon?
Yeah.
So there's that, and so that's like the main mechanic change from the other games in the series. Related to that, they also made it so that your entire team gets experience points whenever you're catching Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that if you like really catch a lot of Pokemon, you can just like really, like the leveling just happens so fast.
Yeah.
Especially if you're chain searching for like one rare Pokemon, which is what I was doing when I was trying to get my my Bulbasaur. I ended up getting all the levels.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, by the time you get to Brock, you're gonna sweep the floor.
Yeah. So that's the thing. And then what other? So that's the major one. Other mechanic change. Instead of, there are no longer random battles. Instead, it's pretty much again like Pokemon Go. You walk around and you can see the Pokemon in the world, like as like Pokemon on the map, and you can encounter them. Now, which Pokemon will show up is random, but like it's no longer this case where you just walk in the grass and then whichever battle, it's a roll of the dice. Like you can kind of choose from a select amount of whatever you can see.
Yes.
So it does take away some of the random element, but not all of it.
Yeah.
So what do you think of that change? Do you think it's a good change? Like, do you think that you would want Pokemon games to keep that moving forward, or?
I really like that.
Okay.
I would like that to be attributed to the main series as well. That looks really nice. The Switch can handle it, definitely. The Switch can handle more than what Let's Go, Pikachu, and Eevee put out.
Yes.
For sure. It feels more immersive, and I really enjoy that. Two comments I'm going to say about that if they do bring it into Gen 8. Make the Pokemon AI smarter.
Yes.
Because when you're in a corner and a Spearow spawns and the Spearow's trying to go in its flight path of a circle, and it's just running into the walls.
Oh my god.
I'm like, that breaks the immersion.
Yeah.
Because why is the Spearow just flying into this open air of trees that it could totally go through if there wasn't a wall there that prevented me from going?
Right.
And also, honestly, get rid of the old voices. Pikachu and Eevee have their anime cries.
They do.
If you're going to bring more immersion into it, I'd say give them the anime cries as well. All of the Pokemon.
Oh wow.
Because this is more of the case for older Pokemon, but like, what 8-bit cries don't sound necessarily right. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do get what you're saying. I mean, I don't know if I'd say to bring the cries from the anime necessarily.
Or something closer to the anime.
Because like the problem with the anime cries that I have is that it is cute that they say their own names. And to be honest, as an anime, that is a really clever shorthand for making sure your audience remembers the Pokemon's name. You know, like having them always say their name is a good way to like. So from that perspective, it makes sense. But in Pokemon game, there's really no reason. There's no utilitarian reason as to why Pokemon should be saying their names. Like there are some Pokemon, there are some real world animals that are named after their cries. Like the chickadee is named after its cry.
Yeah.
Because chickadee sounds like it's saying chickadee dee 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 dee.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Anyway, but to me, I feel like if they decided we're just gonna make all of the Pokemon cries their names, like especially for like the later Pokemon, like I feel like it makes more sense to have a like Chatot cry is like that sounds like a parrot, like with the little tilt. You would get rid of the amazingness that is Kricketune and its amazing cry, which should never be touched. That cry is amazing and I love it. Sorry.
No, I understand, but like I think it's more so because I'm experiencing just the Generation 1 cries, and when you are in the ice caves and hear Jinx's cry, you're like, that's not a Pokemon cry, that's a computer having a crash cry.
Oh, yeah, like...
The Generation 1 cries were limited to the 8-bit engines, and I'm surprised at the very least there has not been some form of update, whether just cleaning them up or...
I think they have cleaned up. I think during the transition from Gen 5 to Gen 6, I did notice that they did try to clean up some of the older cries. And they do sound a little different. I think I definitely Caterpie's cry sounds different between those two generations, I think. Okay. But my point was just that I feel like if they're going to change the cries, and I do agree with you, I do think that the older cries are kind of limited in their sound. Especially since some of them are reused. Yeah. Like I think
Charizard and Rhyhorn
and Machop have the same cry, I'm pretty sure. Or is it Geodude? I forget. But my point is that if they are gonna update the cries, they should make the cries like they should just make them like actual animal cries. I don't think that they should just do the anime cries. Because like I said, from the video game, it doesn't make sense for your Pokemon to have
like
their names.
Like that would be more interesting. It's just when they already have Pikachu and Eevee saying Pikachu and Eevee. You know what they do.
I gotcha. No, I understand.
But I do still think that would be better.
Oh yeah,
than the current.
It would be.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway,
in my opinion.
I know, I got you.
Yeah. Comment section, you can disagree.
Say that?
Comment section, you can disagree.
Yes. Well, anyway, so the other was to move on to another change in the game alongside the other mechanics in Pokemon Go. They have candies, which are also in Pokemon Go. The candies in this game are a little different from Pokemon Go. Instead of it just being like, they do have the Pokemon Go candies where it's specific candy for a specific species of Pokemon, but they also have these candies for stats.
Yeah.
So each stat has its own candy. So they have stats, candies that increase speed, candies that increase attack, defense, etc.
Yeah, and then the Pokemon candies increase all the stats by 1.
Yes. So basically,
and then it gets stupid.
The candies, holy crap! You can like absolutely create tanks of Pokemon in this game.
How the old stat system worked was Eevee's or Eevee's effort values.
Yes.
Were made from battling other Pokemon. You'd gain them, and you can have a max of what's the max? 500 and some. It's 256.
Oh, you mean of Eevees?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 250 for 2 stats or something. 250. You can 252
have 2 for 2 stats, and then you get an extra 8 left over. So that's 512.
Yeah.
Max Eevee
around that number,
points.
Yeah.
But when it does that calculation, that's for if the Pokemon's at level 100.
Right, yeah.
No matter what level you're grinding your Pokemon, whether it's level 1 or level 100, it will give a +1 to the stat.
Yes.
So basically you have the base stats from the Eevees and leveling up, and then you add up to 200 points to that. You can have level 20 Pokemon that are stronger when they're maxed candied than level 100 versions of the same thing with 0 candies. It's so busted.
It is extremely busted. I'm very on the fence about this mechanic. On one hand, I think I'm all for making Eevee and Ivy training easier. Yes. Like I was all for the ways they did it in Gen 7 and 6 of trying to make it easy for people to do Eevee training, especially because in the past Eevee training was like you had to battle specific Pokemon over and over and over again in order to get the right Eevees, which was laborious. I mean, protein, vitamins are also ways to do Eevees, but this was at least an easier way of doing vitamins, so that's nice. But on the other hand, it's just like I'm one of those people when it comes to Pokemon games that I like a healthy challenge. Like I don't like my Pokemon games to be like so hard that it's like I can't play it anymore, but I also don't like my Pokemon games to be such a breeze either. And I found that especially towards the end of the game that it was really easy. And I feel like I know when a game is easy when I challenge the Elite Four, I sweep them.
Yeah.
Like typically in a good Pokemon game, the gaming convention that takes place in I think LA or something. No, the Elite Four and Champion. When I challenge them, if I have like, I expect to at least even if I do like win, I at least expect to have some Pokemon like faint in the process or have to like really heal a lot or something. Like typically I have like I don't have trouble, but like it's typically like I have to grind or like really prepare for the Elite Four and Champion in order to really win. Whereas with this one, you really don't need to do that, and I don't know if I like that.
Yeah.
However, I can see how like this game. The other aspect of this game that's interesting and different from the other games in the series is that this game is definitely supposed to be geared towards the audience that they're trying to get is not only Pokemon fans in general, but also the people who are playing, who got either introduced or reintroduced to the series through Pokemon Go. So that's why they have the game mechanics of Pokemon Go, is because people who have been playing on the app would like be familiar with those mechanics, and kind of it would be easier for them to understand the game.
Yeah.
And like presumably a more casual audience, I guess, would prefer not to have to do a lot of grinding. And like, I'm not saying that grinding makes RPGs better, because there are definitely cases where the grinding just gets ridiculous and you're just like, why? But I feel like in this case, I felt like it was a little too easy, and I would have preferred, I would have preferred to have a little bit more of a better challenge built in. The only part of the game where I was like, this is hard, and I was not prepared for, was the battle with Mewtwo. Like,
that was rude.
Like, I beat the Elite Four champion. All of my Pokemon are level 60, upper 60s at least. I don't think I had any Pokemon are at 70 at the point when I first challenged him, but like my highest was level 69. So like theoretically I shouldn't have had as much problems as I did when I first challenged Mewtwo, but he whooped my butt. So but that was the only time that I really had a lot of trouble in the game, really.
I had the same problem, but then I also had a Clefairy in my party that I barely used, and I'm just like, okay, you know what? Toxic Shadow Ball. And that won it for me. Because he couldn't recover. Because as soon as I got the crit that reduced his special defense, it was over. Because he couldn't recover. Because the Toxic and Recover were canceling each other out.
Right.
So it was in a losing pattern.
But anyway, we'll talk about Mewtwo later. Yeah. I just wanted to bring it up because it was relevant. So that's another criticism that I have about the new mechanics. Yeah. But those are basically the main new mechanics of the game. Yeah. They're still battling.
They're still trainer battles.
Still trainer battles, and the trainer battles are basically the same as they've always been. There's really not too many differences. However, the differences that do exist is just that there's been a lot of things that have been stripped out in the name of keeping it simple.
Yeah, making it more G1.
Things that are absent are hold items, abilities. A lot of moves have been removed.
Not everything after Generation 1, but there are definitely move pools that are built to be more Generation 1.
Yeah.
Especially in the most notable instance of Giga Drain not existing in the game, and then Absorb and Mega Drain getting buffs to be more comparable.
So, like, okay, when it comes to, like, especially since this game is only Gen 1 Pokemon, I understand hold item removal, because that wasn't in the first game, and like you don't really theoretically need hold items in order to play Pokemon well, especially if it's just the campaign, you know. Hold items are helpful, and I do like using them in my Pokemon games, but they're not like necessary. Abilities are also, especially since this is only Gen 1, removing abilities makes sense. They wouldn't have been able to remove abilities if it was including Gen 3 or beyond, because there are Pokemon that literally...
Slacking, Shedinja...
Like, Shedinja and Slacking literally their ability is so tied in with their design and how they function in battle that removing them would mean they'd have to completely rework the Pokemon. But Gen 1 didn't have abilities, so all the Pokemon can exist. There's nothing... If you take away their abilities, they're not broken.
Yeah.
Point. So while I miss abilities and I miss hold items, I'm not like, I'm not complaining that they're not in the game, at least from this standpoint. They're definitely trying to simplify the game for people who don't play Pokemon all that much, and definitely also trying to appeal to people who maybe haven't played the game since the first games and would be more familiar with the setup that's not as complicated. So that I understand. What I don't understand is why they removed some of the moves they did. Like, I don't like not having Giga Drain. Like, Mega Drain's fine. It does its job fine. Like, I'll take it. But, I don't necessarily think that not having I don't think having Giga Drain would have complicated things for the player.
You could have still just had Absorb, Mega Drain, Giga Drain.
Yeah. However, the worst removal for me, at least in my specific stance, is that so just to quickly mention, Alolan forms are in this game. They're available as traded in-game trades at pretty much like every, like, they're all in Pokestops. Oh my god. Pokemarts.
Yeah.
Not Pokemarts. Pokemon centers. Oh my god. Pokemon centers are all in there, and then you trade for whatever. So you trade the Cantonian version of the Pokemon for the Alolan version of the Pokemon. So I decided for my team I would get an Alolan Marowak. The problem with Alolan Marowak is that it doesn't have access to its signature move. Which, remind me what that is called again?
Shadowbone.
Which sucks because A, it doesn't learn any Ghost-type moves to level up now in this new game.
Yep.
And B, it's a physical attacker, and the only attack Ghost-type move it learns is Shadow Ball, which is a special type move. So it's just like, it's not like, no, my Marowak wasn't unusable. Like, I did use my Marowak, and like it was strong enough by the time I got to like bigger battles that even though Shadow Ball was a special move, it didn't really matter. I still did good damage on it. But like,
there's no reason.
Like there was no reason to cut that move. Like, I don't see why they saw the reason to. It's not like they didn't have any space. Like, they definitely would have had enough space to include Shadow Balls, or Shadow Bone, I mean. So, like, I don't know how that would have simplified it.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, excuse me, some of the TMs and HMs didn't make sense. Like, teleport's a TM now.
They're just making a reference to G1, to Gen 1. But, yeah.
It does nothing. I know they are. But still, like...
It does nothing.
I don't care for that kind of pandering when there could have been another better HM that would have been more useful to have. Or not HM, TM. That would have been way more useful to have than teleport.
Yeah.
Which is only useful if you feel like you absolutely need to have a way to get back to your Pokemon, to a Pokemon Center, or escape a cave. Even though but like Dig is such a better option for escaping caves too, because like not only is it an attack move too, so you're not like wasting a slot on a basically useless move, basically a move that's useless in battle. Does teleport help you escape from help you run from wild battles?
Yes, but yeah, that's what it was.
But that doesn't matter in this game either. No. Because like you can't. You can run from pretty much every battle in this game. So there's no battle. There's no wild battles. So it's not like it's good because you can run from battles. So I think for the next game, if they continue with this franchise, specifically the Let's Go franchise, or it's like Pokemon games that are designed to be like Pokemon Go, I really hope that they re-add some of those moves, because I just don't understand why those moves would have not been there.
Yeah.
So that's a thing. That's another thing. Okay. So what else do we want to talk about?
While we were on Pokemon, let's talk about the new Pokemon, Meltan.
Yes, Meltan. So we got Generation 7 Pokemon, Meltan. Meltan is, I don't think, theoretically available in Let's Go itself. I think it's only available in Pokemon Go.
You can only get it in Pokemon Go. You can transfer it to Let's Go. That's the only non-151, non-originally in red, blue, yellow games Pokemon you can get, along with its evolution Melmetal. Though the thing about it is, you can only evolve Meltan in Go.
Yep.
And then you can transfer Melmetal into Let's Go.
Yes. So basically, in order to be able to fully complete the Pokedex in this game, you are required to have access to Pokemon Go.
Which, I mean, is fine because it's free.
Yeah. You know, it's not like
all the requirement is you need to transfer a Pokemon to Let's Go, And then you can open the mystery box once a week, or currently, as we're recording, there's the Meltan event where you can do it once every 3 days, which frustrates the heck out of me because for some reason today, actually, or yesterday, my phone and my Switch decided they don't like each other and don't want to communicate, and I don't want to miss out on shiny Meltan.
They had a bad row, and now they're thinking about seeing other people.
I don't know why.
They were such a good couple.
They were such a good couple. Just stay together until I at least get a shiny Meltan, please, please.
Hashtag send the Switch and your phone to couples counseling. Anyway, yeah. So, what do you think of Melmetal? I haven't really used Meltan because I haven't actually caught a Meltan in Pokemon Go. Because I play Pokemon Go, but I'm not I don't live I live in a suburban area, and I'm not that close to a city where there's a lot of Pokestops, so I can't really walk around and get Meltan. So I've seen them, but I haven't caught them yet.
Well, you don't need to walk around. You can literally just sit in your house and they'll spawn at
intervals. Yeah. But I haven't seen one yet. I haven't seen a Meltan yet. But I think its design is really interesting.
But I mean, you're the only one that has prevented you from seeing a Meltan, right?
I know. I'm my worst enemy. I'm my own worst enemy.
Because they don't spawn naturally in the wild. I'm sorry.
Wait, they don't?
No. I just told you how you get them.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, I'm an idiot.
Yeah. You were saying, I haven't seen one yet. I'm like, how have you not seen one?
I'm actually really bad at Pokemon, you guys. I'm sorry. I've let you all down. I've presented myself as this expert. Meanwhile, the facade has been thrown away. And it turns out I've been a noob this whole time. But yeah, I just haven't gotten around to getting Meltan. But what do you think of Meltan and Melmetal?
Oh, they're fun.
I like how cool. Melmetal looks like he does push-ups every day.
Yeah.
He goes to the gym.
He's been doing
there is no Pokemon that goes more to the gym than him, except for Machoke. Machoke might beat him and goes to the gym every day. But they're like gym partners. They go to the gym all the time. They lift weights. They probably spot for each other.
Yeah.
I like how Melmetal's face is just a hole with a dot in it. It looks really weird, but I think that's what the charm of it is. Because I think a lot of in Pokemon based on non-animal things tend to have distinguished faces or faces that you can pinpoint for the most part, but this Pokemon just doesn't. Yeah. Which I think is very interesting.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's fun how it got revealed in Go.
Yeah, I thought the reveal of it was really good. I love how people thought it was a leak at first, but it turned out it was planned from the get-go. Yeah. And I think it was really cleverly revealed, which is cool.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that was a fun time.
Do we know? I guess it hasn't been put into any Gen 8, but if it's available in Gen 8, then we'll see how it wrecks. If it wrecks shop in meta.
We do know what its ability is, despite it not. I guess
not having the ability.
Yeah, I guess there's still code for it.
Oh, I see. Which is weird. I guess for if you transfer it to a Gen 8 game.
Yeah.
That's why. What's his ability?
Well, I forget what Meltan's is. Let me check really quick. Meltan's is just Magnet Pull.
Oh, okay.
However, Melmetal has Iron Fist.
Oh, well.
And the reason that's rude is because it has its signature move, Double Iron Bash, which is counted as a move that is boosted by Iron Fist.
Yikes.
And it has base 60 power, 100% accuracy.
Yikes.
Will guarantee 2 hits.
Oh my god.
And has
that's
a chance to
right there.
And has a chance to flinch.
Wow, that is rude. That is rude.
And it's a steel type, so stab too.
Yeah, no, that sounds really rude. So yeah, Melmetal gets a thumbs up in my book.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't really looked at him yet.
Yeah.
So what else do you want to talk about? Let's see.
Let's talk about the plot a little bit, and I just want to touch on the fact how interesting it is that you go through the same paces as red, blue, and yellow.
Yes, you do.
However, you're not red, and the girl's not green. No. The guy's not red, the girl's not green. They all exist. They just took their journey 2 years before yours.
Yep.
And
but like that's just Team Rocket's still a thing, and like Giovanni's still a thing.
So something happened where either all of the kids were born early, or Giovanni's plans didn't reach the same point as they did in an alternate universe until 2 years later.
Yeah.
Because also, coincidentally, the Pokedex didn't get developed until this point now. Gary makes an offhanded comment about how he literally had to draw Pokemon locations on a piece of paper.
Which is... Yeah. I mean, like, that makes sense if it's the 90s, but, like, isn't this supposed to be an analog for today? Or is it still the 90s?
I don't know.
We have a Switch, though. Because, like, the Pokedex as a technology... like, just being able to scan Pokemon as you go makes sense if it's a hot button tech in, like, the 90s. Yeah. Because the original game took place in 1996, so the 1996 analog. So, you know, the Pokedex would have been pretty hot tech. But if the Switch is canonical in this version, how would the Pokedex be any less or more advanced than anything the Switch could do? Or if the Switch was because the Switch is there's a Switch in the game, so like, or your character has a Switch, so it's like,
so
like at least in Sun and Moon, it's like cool high tech because there's a Rotom in it, but like this one's just, oh look, you have a Pokedex, and it's like, I don't know, I think that's just very interesting, and it's definitely a relic of tech that has just kind of existed. But I mean, it's nothing to think hard about. I just think it's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think it's very strange. The only thing that I really like in terms of the changes from the plot is the fact that Jesse and James are here.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Meowth doesn't talk, which that's very disappointing. But I mean, it makes sense that he doesn't talk in this game.
Yeah.
But James and Jesse, and that's a reference to Pokemon Yellow, because they also were in Pokemon Yellow. And they're fun. You're actually double battles this time, so it's cool. But yeah, most of the beats in the same, most of the Pokemon, or most of the plot takes the same beats as the very first game. Yeah. So if you've played the first game, you pretty much know where it's going to go and what all the things are. Although I will say, the most disappointing change in the entire thing is just the rival in this game is just not...
He's too nice. He's too nice.
Yeah, he can't compete with
They
Blue.
Literally changed, like, the reason why the rival lost to us. Yeah. Instead of, like, oh, you didn't treat your Pokemon with enough affection. It was like, you were a little... You weren't too dedicated to this. You weren't strict enough.
Which is stupid.
Yeah.
Like, because, like, the whole point of the way the plot works is...
love and affection. It's love and affection.
The whole reason why your rival in Pokemon works so well in the first one is because he's an absolute butt munch. Like, he rubs it in your face. He's like, haha, look at me. I'm better than you. He's always one step ahead of you too in the game. Like, he's like, haha, look at me. I'm so much better than you. I'm like the best person. Smell you later. And then he leaves, and then he like rubs everything. He's like really self-absorbed. And so then when he finally becomes the champion, it becomes your chance to shove it in his face and be like, yeah, I'm better than you. And then the reason why he loses is because he was too arrogant. So it makes sense. And the reason why you win is because of the bond you have with your Pokemon.
Yeah.
So, but the same setup doesn't work in this game because this guy is just too. It's not bad that he's nice. Like, there's nothing wrong with having a nice rival. Like, I didn't think it was a problem that my rival in Alpha Sapphire and oh my god, Mega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire was nice. Like, he was your rival, but like he still was a friend of yours.
Mm-hmm.
And like Brendan and May are still your friend. They aren't catty with you, but you know they're fine.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's Bianca from the 5th game who is also pretty nice. So like there's no problem with nicer, or like Hal from Gen 7.
Yep.
Who's just kind of there because he's having a fun time, and like it's fine. Like you can have but the thing about those stories is that those rivals were never the final boss, except for in Omega Ruby Alpha, except for in Ultra Sun Ultra Moon. But I mean, I didn't really like that choice there either, for the same reason. So yeah, overall, the rival in this game just like was really very not memorable, and I would have definitely preferred for Blue to have been my rival because he's just such a force of personality.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, fun fact, both Michael and I named our rivals after Air Cronover from Steel Sith Bots / sometimes ABC Free Cybertron. So, it was really funny. We didn't plan that ahead of time. We just both of us just at the same time were like, yeah, we're gonna name our rival Eric just because we both think it's funny.
Yeah. Oh yes.
So, and we both beat Eric. So yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, yeah. So the plot's Pokemon.
Yeah. Lots of Pokemon.
So do you agree with me with what I said about the rival, or do you think
I agree.
I'm not giving you enough credit?
No, I agree. I certainly agree.
Okay. Cool. So we've touched on the plot. But now I wanted to talk about other mechanic change. So Gen 7 is, I think, the first gen to not have HMs. Because we didn't have HMs in Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
But in this game, we also don't have any HMs. The HMs are instead secret techniques that are learned by your partner Pokemon.
Even though, as the game progresses, as you learn, that's odd because it's usually the human that learns the secret techniques instead of the Pokemon.
Yeah, so
which is not what I expected.
Like in this universe, the Pokemon doesn't help you with that.
Yeah.
At least most of the time.
Yeah,
which is interesting. Which is weird.
Yeah, it's supposed to be you, the player, that should be like, being able to cut down trees with your bare hands.
I mean, humans can cut wood boards, so why not cut thin trees with your bare hands?
But yeah,
I think the decision. I think I really like the fact that there's no HMs.
Yes.
In this game, it's always nice not to have to worry about that because they just take up so many move slots, and they can't delete them. So I'm glad that Pokemon it seems to be moving in the direction where they're not going to have HMs anymore, and good riddance.
Yeah.
Like, I absolutely do not miss HMs.
Yeah.
Like, the only HM that I like is Waterfall, but that's just because it's a good move, just on its own.
It's still a TM. I'm sure that'll say a TM because it's a very strong physical water attack that is very good competitively.
And Gyarados needs it to live.
Yeah.
So I do like that, but there's really not much to say about that.
Well,
just in terms of
the thing to talk about is the partner Pokemon.
Oh yes,
because they are buffed. They are boofed. They are boofed Pikachus and Eevees.
So Pikachu and Eevee are your partner Pokemon. They're your starter, but they're special.
Yeah. They're going to be stronger than any other wild Pikachu or Eevee you will encounter.
Yes, and
They will
also
not evolve.
are incapable of evolving. You cannot evolve them. But like honestly, the fact I when I first heard about the fact that you couldn't evolve them, I was really disappointed because I personally prefer to try and evolve your Pokemon because I feel like when they evolve, it's sort of like they're growing with you.
Yeah.
But I mean, I personally felt that with the way the mechanics are set up, that having your Eevee not evolve or your Pikachu not evolve was not like a disadvantage. Like your Eevee and your Pikachu, as long as you like level them up and feed them lots of candies, will become an absolute dump truck. So like they will hit hard. So that I don't mind. And you also can dress them up in little cute outfits. I really liked when I dressed myself. I really liked dressing myself in the Eevee costume and dressing my Eevee in the human costume. So it was like we were dressed as each other. Yeah. I thought it was really cute. So that's the outfit I stuck with for most of the game. And yeah, I enjoyed playing with the Eevee. I liked how diverse the moveset for Eevee was in terms of what moves it could learn.
And how busted those moves are.
Oh my god, the moves are absolutely great, and I can't wait for the evolutions to have them because they will be wonderful. And
Vaporeon's going to be so much worse.
Vaporeon is going to be an absolute nightmare in Gen 8. I can sense it now. So I really like that addition as well. Although I will say Batty Bad.
Horrible name. Really good move.
It's such a horrible name.
Really good move, though.
I can't say it with a straight face. Let me try it. I can't do it. It's just Batty Bad. Like automatically you're just like, oh. So, but Batty Bad's a good move. So, you know, I can't. It's fine.
Yep.
But all the Eevee moves are good. I think the ones that I stuck with the most was Freezy Flash and the Psychic one, whose name I'm forgetting at the moment. But
it's something like.
But I did stick with those.
I was gonna say Glitzy Glow, but that's the fairy one. But anyway.
Yeah. Yes, but it's those are the two moves that I used, and they're both good. Also, the Psychic one sets up a Reflect as soon as you're done using it, which is like
a Reflect or a Light Screen.
I think a Light Screen.
Yeah,
whichever one.
That's why Batty Bad is so good because it does that, and then sets up a Reflect. Because of course, Umbreon needed to be more defensive.
Of course, it did. Yeah, so that one I like. And yeah, I didn't feel like the Eevee was restrictive on my team at all, so that was really good. How would you think of having a Pikachu on your team?
Pikachu is good. The only special move I taught it was the Splishy Splash with the water type attack, just because that's the coverage it needed.
Yeah.
So it could take care of ground types that were like, hey, how about no to electricity?
Oh yeah, now Pikachu has a good recovery. Not recovery. Smash
coverage.
good coverage.
Yeah.
Pikachu got good insurance coverage.
also, Zippy Zap, so busted.
Oh, good.
50 base attack, priority, always crits.
Oh my god,
that was just the win button.
Press A to win.
Yes.
Yeah. So I do like the partner Pokemon. I don't know if this is a mechanic that I would want to stay for the rest of the games, but I do like having. I do think that they went in a good direction with this. But speaking of other things about Pokemon in this game, walking around, yay! Your Pokemon can walk behind you in this game, and it's the cutest thing in the world, and I love it.
Yep.
I think my favorite one, the Pokemon that I personally had, was Rhydon and Rhyhorn. Rhyhorn was wonderful because it was the only, because you don't have bikes in this game.
Yeah.
Which is another change that I find really interesting. What did you think of not having bikes?
Oh, I mean, it makes it easier with the following Pokemon stuff, but.
Oh well, yeah. It does, but I do
Even though
think
every time
that
you hopped off a ledge, the Pokemon had to go inside its Pokeball and then pop out of its Pokeball.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, could you not have made a graphic for that? Could you not have made the animation for each of these Pokemon just hopping down a ledge? Was that so hard?
It might have been. Who knows?
I
also really like Magikarp.
The game could have
Magikarp just kind of flopped around. Yeah. Rhyhorn I liked a lot just because it was the only one of the few Pokemon that you could ride and it was faster than running.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of like used Rhyhorn to just kind of like run. Yeah. But once evolved to Rhydon, it was slower. So yeah. But Rhydon was cool because you actually rode on it. You actually could ride on it.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
You could ride on him, and it was really funny. So
excuse you.
I do. Excuse me. I do like the Pokemon following you around. I think it gives the Pokemon world more life, and I think it would be really cool if they kept this feature for Gen 8 moving forward, and you could have Pokemon from other generations running behind you, which I would like. Also, I think doesn't Staryu like fly like a saucer?
Oh yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah. So yeah, I really like that. What do you think? Do you think they should keep this feature in future games? I think
absolutely. They've got the models for it.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And I really do think that they would be a good idea.
The only thing I would ask is for the more serpentine Pokemon or the longer Pokemon. Also, again, I feel like they have room to make the graphics better, and the model's a little more capable, because if you have an Ekans slithering behind you, it's always just going to be slithering in the same straight path. If you're going around the corner, the whole body's just going to move at once.
It doesn't moving like a snake does?
It doesn't slither like a snake would. It just, the whole body just shifts. And then it still keeps
That's a little awkward.
It is. And Mewtwo, it was also awkward because its tail literally just sticks straight out behind it. And it just doesn't feel right.
Oh.
When?
Yeah, it definitely seems like they might have just programmed the animation walking cycle.
Yeah.
And they didn't program anything beyond that.
Yeah.
That's a little rough.
If the game was,
I think they definitely could for like maybe Gen 8.
They can. Also, I saw this from someone else, and it was a really good thought.
Mm-hmm.
Make distinct animation models for attacks for Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
And you would say, cool. No, that's too much. But they also brought up the point that they had that in the Pokemon Stadium. Specific Pokemon had specific animations for specific attacks.
Oh yeah, and those are console games. So yeah, they could definitely do that.
They can. And this game was $60, so it would have been more worth it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I understand there's a lot more Pokemon, but like, once you get them done, you're not adding too many more Pokemon in the generations coming up anymore.
Right.
So once you get all of those models you need done once,
squared away,
then you're good until the next substantial upgrade.
Right, yeah.
But I doubt it's going to go beyond 3D for a long while.
Right.
Like, there's not much further they can do besides 3D at this moment.
Yeah. So, yeah, I am really excited for that possibility. I mean, they also, I don't think, have actually updated the models themselves since Gen 6.
Yeah. I mean, they've done textures and colors.
Oh yeah, but the actual model itself is still the Gen 6 models, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing.
No.
I don't think they need to update the model itself, but I mean, it's always an option too.
Yeah.
Anyway, So I'm trying to think of other things to talk about.
We never talked about Mewtwo yet.
Who?
Mewtwo.
Oh, Mewtwo. Yeah. So, the legendaries are in this game. Unlike all the other battles, I should say, or catching moments in this game, you actually have to battle them. You just beat them, and then you can go to the catching. Mewtwo is obviously the final boss. Mm-hmm. Find him in the caves. It's really in cave, and he is balls hard. He is so hard. Which makes sense. He's pretty much the final boss of Pokemon, just in general.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that they would make him pretty tough to beat. I actually haven't beaten him yet in Let's Go, but I have tried to, and he is a tough customer.
Yep.
So, but I think he's definitely worth catching as always. And I don't think he has a signature move though in this game.
He doesn't.
Which is upsetting.
They gutted the Mewtwo signature move.
He does. You do get a Mewtwonite Y and Mewtwonite X though, so you can Mega evolving.
You can still Mega.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah. Mega evolutions are in this game, but not Z moves.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to continue using Z moves in the other generations.
Probably.
I would think they would. I hope they do.
Yeah.
Because Z moves are kind of fun, and they do add a lot of cool, different
stuff,
things to the mechanics. I mean, if Mega Evolution is still a thing, then I'm sure this will be. Anyway. Yes. Yeah, so there's that. Let's see what else. I'm like looking for things. So I guess I just wanted to talk about one other detail that I think was a really cool addition when you're comparing this to the older games is that the gyms actually have seating on the sides.
Yes.
Which I thought was really cool detail. Like you sort of, because that makes sense. Like in the Pokemon anime, it's more of a spectator sport, so it makes sense that there are spectators in the gyms that are visible. And I don't even think this might be the first time we've ever seen that in a game. Period. So that's really cool.
Yes. Oh yeah.
So I'm all for that.
Yeah, that's a nice touch. Post game. There's not a post game unless you want to count the Master Trainers post game.
No. Yes. You're right. The Master Trainers are. I haven't really touched much of the post game. And I don't really know how I feel. It seems like a lot of work to become like master in every Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you just gotta.
It's not even just.
I mean, you just gotta get all the candies, power up your Pokemon to max, and then kick them with a level 5 Caterpie.
Well, yeah. It's you don't necessarily have to level them up. It's more you have to just grind for candies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it definitely is an interesting post game. Although I would have preferred a more robust post game.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the last Pokemon game that had a good post game. Was it Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire?
Yeah.
I guess kind of hunting the Ultra Beasts.
Oh yeah, the Ultra Beast was also fun. The Ultra Beast one was also fun.
But like story, like post game that was like really like you could dig your teeth into. I think Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire was the last Pokemon game to have that. So that's kind of upsetting.
Oh wait, the Rainbow Rocket Saga.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. Never mind.
Yeah.
I take it back. Yeah. Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon has had the best post game in recent years.
Yeah.
Because that Rainbow Rocket that boss rush was really fun. Yeah. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah.
And I do hope that Rainbow Rocket comes back. Because they did hint that
because it can. It definitely can.
Because they can. They're universe hopping baddies, and Giovanni is Giovanni. So I'd be interested to see Jenny bring Rainbow Rocket back. I forgot about Rainbow Rocket. Okay. Yes, but like this game basically had no post game, which is a little unfortunate. The only real content after the game finishes that there is just the Master Trainers and catching all 151 Pokemon, technically 153.
Mm-hmm.
And since that's less Pokemon than most Pokemon games, it seems like there's not as much content here, which is a little unfortunate.
Yeah.
Trying to think of anything else.
It still looks nice.
Oh yeah.
And when there's cutscenes, the cutscenes look really good. I just wish the animation quality of the cutscenes translated to the battles a bit more sometimes.
Yeah. I feel the graphics still look really good. I do think there is still some room for them to make improvements, and I'm hoping that this game is more of just like a soft launch for the Pokemon on the Switch. This is their time to sort of test their footing with the new engine and see how it works. And I'm hoping that with Gen 8 they'll really do a good job in trying to push the Switch and get a cool looking Pokemon game, because I would really love to see some good improvements engine wise since we're moving to a completely new console.
Yeah.
That's what I really want to see. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, so, I guess just, I had another complaint. I had another thing I want to bring up. The apparel options in this game,
limited.
Very limited. Basically, you got certain outfit sets that you could wear, which isn't bad, but it really limits your customization options. Like, it's very clear that the certain sets are supposed to be worn together, so you only have like a couple outfits to choose from, which is a little... Like, part of me almost thinks that, well, why did they even bother putting in customization if it's going to be so limited anyway? But, I mean, it's fine. It's not a focus, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, how do you think of these games? How do you think these games serve or function in terms of them being reimaginings of the first generation?
I think it's really good.
Okay.
And I think... this was a good title to have on the Switch first, especially since they weren't ready for Gen 8 just yet.
Yeah. Yes, I do think this is a good holdover title.
Yeah. It's definitely definitely nowhere near the top of the best main series titles. Because this is the third time we're rehashing, we're in Kanto as just a Gen 1 game. I'm not even counting Kanto from when we see it in Gold, Silver, Heart, Gold, Soul, Silver.
No, yeah.
So this is the third game where the story is just Kanto.
Yep.
It's the same basic plot, just redone.
Which, it's kind of silly. I hope that if we ever do visit Kanto again, I wanted it to be a new story.
Yes.
Have the same setting, but a different story. Because
oh wait, it did have a new story. It had a rival that was super kind, friendly all the time.
And I will say, I still stand by my idea that if, in terms of playing the Kanto games, or the games that are set in Kanto specifically, I still stand by my idea that Fire Red, Leaf Green is probably the definitive way to play any of the Kanto storyline in all of the main series Pokemon games. So if you're looking for what's the best game to play, in terms of the Kanto region and the Kanto storyline, I say Fire Red, Leaf Green is the best version of that, because it has the traditional battle mechanics. It's a good up-res of the first game, and it doesn't change too much from it. So I say that. And you can choose between boy and girl, which you could do the first game. So, that's where my opinion is on that. All right. So I guess, is there anything else you wanted to bring up that we're forgetting about?
No.
Oh, actually, before we go, what was your team, and who was the star of your team?
I had Pikachu, Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise, Clefable, and Rhydon. And the star was definitely Pikachu.
For me, I had Eevee, Venusaur, Rhydon, Clefable, Alolan Marowak, and I'm forgetting someone. Gyarados.
Mm-hmm.
That's 6, right?
Yeah.
I think that's right. Yeah. The MVP of that game, of that team was definitely Eevee for me. Although I will give shout outs to Clefable too, because Clefable was just so buff and wrecked everyone. Mostly because it leveled up real fast, so
yeah,
it was stronger than a lot of the people, a lot of the Pokemon on my team. Yeah. But pretty much all my Pokemon did well. I'd say probably the weakest link was unfortunately Venusaur. As much as I love Venusaur, just unfortunately because of some of the move cuts, it took a while for Venusaur to get good, which was unfortunate.
Get good scrub.
Get it? Because he's a scrub? Because he's a plant? Ha!
Yeah. He's a shrub. Get good, shrub.
Yeah. Anyway, so I guess now we'll do some expectations for Gen 8 real quick, and then we can do our wrap up.
Everything I said in this.
Yeah, you did kind of.
I mean, I did say a lot. I don't have any other expectations besides that.
Yeah.
Particularly besides like how's this cool new Pokemon. I want to see cool new Pokemon. That's all I got.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, and I agree with most of what you said. I'm really hoping that they do try and really elevate the games from like into the Switch, because I feel like this game was definitely like 3DS 0.5, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like just kind of like better 3DS and not really Switch.
Yeah.
But you know, it's serviceable. All right, so final verdict, overall thoughts. You want to go, Michael?
This was good. It was good. Again, if you like Pokemon and you're okay with Pokemon Go catch mechanics in your main series Pokemon game, you'll be okay with this. The only consternation is the fact they've bumped this up to $60 instead of the standard $40 because it's Pokemon and they can get away with it.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. I do definitely think that this game might not be worth the price tag.
Yeah.
Especially since it doesn't have as much content as like the other games did.
And I'd say wait for it to go on sale, but they never go on sale.
Yeah, so definitely try and get it used if you can.
Yeah.
Because that would be at a reduced price.
Yeah.
Or use gift cards if you have them.
Mm-hmm.
Get those coupons. Yeah. Yeah, and I agree. It's a good solid game. If newer Pokemon mechanics have been a little daunting to you and you'd prefer a game that's a little bit simpler, this is a good place to start. But if you're a more seasoned Pokemon player and you don't really mind the newer mechanics, or you actually prefer the newer mechanics, you'll be pretty disappointed. Mm-hmm. And if you're not particularly that enthused with Kanto region in general, you'll probably be disappointed. Yeah. For my money, if you just want to play a Kanto region game, just play Fire Red Leaf Green. It's much better.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's all from me, and that's all from you. So.
Yep. So yeah, that's it from us. So thank you for watching. Alyssa, where can people find you?
People can find me on Twitter at @TheRationalDove. Feel free to check me out there, say hi to me. I'm very warm and friendly. I like to think, at least.
Then you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at SoundJack426. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I also do have a Patreon account. Go check that out if you want to help support the channel. And with that being said, thanks for tuning in. This is SoundJack and Alyssa signing off.